If you're a prospective tenant and you're looking for a rental property, do not make one of these mistakes. Otherwise, the chance of getting your rental application accepted will reduce by large percentages. So, what are the mistakes? Here we go. Now, if you're a landlord watching this, it's an insight to what happens behind the scenes when we have this volume of applications. It is a good thing that we have this volume, but it's a lot of work that has to happen to get to that right tenant. So let's go through some things that we look for and or tenant mistakes, prospective tenant mistakes they make on the application. So number one, they fill out the application online completely. Number two, did we get a phone call from them complaining about having to fill out an online application? Number three, do they call our office and demand a paper application? Now, we don't do paper applications anymore, but we can make exceptions for people that are a little bit older and don't quite understand it. We have them come to our office with their computer and we help them through the application process. We typically don't do paper applications. If someone doesn't have an email, it's very hard to rent to them because all of our correspondence is via email. But we do make exceptions, but to the people that are nice and understand that it is an exception, if that makes sense. Number four, at the showing, are they nice? Do they come through and are they respectful? Are they nice? Do they have a nice look through the house? Or are they a little bit nasty? Are they a little bit rude? We have some prospective tenants come in and complain about the house like they were buying the house. Well, that's a good way not to get your application even considered. Number five, so now we have all the applications. Does all the information on their application match up? So if you give us numbers to call to verify employment, do they match up? Or is it lots of mistakes in there? Lots of, that numbers incorrect. If it is, that application is probably going to get disregarded. Remember, if we have 30 or 40 applications, we have to have a process to disregard someone's, and that's one of the ways we do it. Now, if we do call you to verify something or to check something, do you return the phone call or the email promptly? Or do you not return it to 2 days later? If you return it 2 days later, it's done. If you return it the same day, that's really good. If you return it the next day, that's okay. Anything more than that, bad communication, we're probably not going to rent to you. Number seven, we do a quick financial check. How much money do you make? And you're allowed to spend about 35 or 37% of that total income on a rental payment. If that number gets to up to 40 or 50%, then you don't qualify to rent the house. Too much of your income is going towards the rent on that house, and that's dangerous for you and for the owner to take on that type of tenant. Number eight, we run an ad on a property saying no pets, and you put in an application and you have a pet. Yeah, oh, but little Fluffy's just a small old dog. I understand, I'm a dog person, but if it says no pets, it's no pets, your application, goodbye. Number 9, TICA, the Tenancy Information Centre Australia. This is a blacklist. We check TICA. If you as a prospective tenant, you're on TICA, you don't even get considered. You're immediately disregarded. TICA is a blacklist for tenants, and it's quite hard for a real estate company to put someone on TICA. It's a big process. So if a real estate company has gone through that process, it's legit and you're on TICA, you've got no chance. Now, if you think you shouldn't be on there, go back to the person that put you on and there's an appeals process. But for this property that you're applying for, no, you're gone. Sorry. Number 10, here's where it gets tricky and here's where our experience comes in. You put that you were renting from a private landlord previously. In other words, it was not through a management company. And then you give us that person's address and their phone number and we call them. Well, we also check to make sure that person you gave us actually owns that property. Because sometimes, sneaky, you'll tell us that you rented from a private landlord. It's your friend that answers the phone and that person doesn't actually own the property. So rest assured, we check that type of thing just to make sure what you say is actually verifiable. If it's not, you've lied to us. Goodbye. Number 11, now I was going to stop at number 10, but I'm on number 11, so I will stop here. The tenant ledger. If your application is getting close to one of the ones being selected, but you have a late on that, we'll speak to your previous management company just to find out if that was an anomaly. We'll then ask for the tenant ledger to make sure that was maybe one late, one off 3 years ago for this reason. Not a problem. But if we look at that tenant ledger and we see every third month you're late, we're not renting the property to you because that's too much work for us. It's too much stress for our client. It just never works out. Now, a lot of good tenants will supply a tenant ledger with their application. That saves us a little bit of time, and that's good for you. So that's it. That's a few things to help you as a prospective tenant know what we do behind the scenes. And as an owner or landlord, that also shows you what goes on behind the scenes. It's not just a tick and flick. There's a lot of work to make sure we're putting the right person into your property. There's a lot of work from the tenant's perspective to make sure you're the right person for the property. So if you're thinking of buying, call us. If you're thinking of selling, call us. If you're a prospective tenant looking for property and you can't find something, call us. We'll put you on a list. And if you're a landlord, would love to manage your property, call us. Call us. That's it. Daryl, Rouse Realty. Goodbye.